So this will be our last practice from this location, as you can see by my very bare walls, and I don't know if you can hear the echo. It's very strange in here. So we're going to be doing a little bit of twisting and spine lengthening, some good stuff like that. And just a reminder, in case you haven't seen the email, but I'm assuming you have, I will not be live streaming on Thursday because of the move, but I will be back in a new location on Monday the 8th. So I'll see you guys for sure then. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat and we'll get centered in and just kind of see how things are feeling. So it's the day after Halloween. If you guys maybe partook of too many Halloween sweeties, I got you covered. We're twisting today. It's kind of a detox thing. And we'll be lengthening the spine, so it should feel really good. So find that aligned spine. Relax your shoulders. Take a really deep breath in. Just sigh it out through your mouth. Close your eyes. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice it from all perspectives, the muscles, the joints, maybe even your organs. So how are you feeling internally? Notice your mood, your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. Just really kind of take stock of how you're feeling. Begin to breathe a little deeper and a little slower. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment and set your intention for your practice today. So when you're clear about your intention, take another deep breath in. Big sigh. So however you're seated is fine. We're going to start with a little bit of like moving things around. I think you guys have all done this with me before. We're just going to make some rib cage circles. So I'm going to have you start really slow. Push your chest forward and then push it to one side, like your rib cage to the side. And then kind of round the back, press your rib cage back, and then move it to the opposite side. And now if you put those together, your rib cage will kind of make circles. So you go forward to the side, to the back, to the other side. We're going to do 3 in each direction. Take your time with these. Once you've gone 3 one way, go the opposite direction. And then find center. Good. So really gentle twist in this position. So if you're cross-legged, perfect. If your legs are extended, perfect. If they're tucked underneath you, perfect. Doesn't matter. You just want a straight spine. And all I want you to do on your next exhale is twist to your right. I'm not going to mirror you. I'm going to twist to my right. You twist to yours, which is the opposite direction. And just kind of start noticing how that feels. How does your spine feel? How do your abdominal organs feel? Take a couple breaths. And then come back to the center, and we'll twist to the left. So this is a gentle twist. We're not trying to really yank ourselves and do a deep twist or anything. We're just allowing the spine to rotate, again, kind of taking stock. Noticing internal organs as well as muscles, as well as the spine. And then come back to the center and just transition onto your hands and knees. So we're going to do a couple of cat-cows here. Inhaling the back arches, exhaling the back rounds. And then just kind of wag your tail for a moment. And take your first child's pose. And if you can do traditional child's pose, that would be great. We're going to be playing with both versions today. So if you can, your knees are together and your hands are by your feet, palms up. Now, if you need to adjust this, please do. But for now, round your back if you're able to. Take a couple of deep breaths into the low back. We're also going to be lengthening out our spines today. And if you are in traditional balasana, notice how your back is rounded. And then let's transition this into Utthita Balasana, which is extended child's pose. If your feet are together, keep them together. But spread your knees apart. Keep your bum on your heels. And now walk the arms forward and let your forehead hit the ground again. And you're going to notice that posturally, this feels very different. It looks very different too. Now our spine is lengthening. It's not rounded. And from this position, we're just going to slide forward. Let the elbows be under the shoulders. Bring our big toes to touch. Let the heels drop open. And let's take a few breaths, really pulling with our forearms to lengthen the low back. And then finally, your first down dog. Plant your hands, turn your toes under, push your backside up and back. Feel free to pedal the feet a little bit if you need to. And then find some stillness, focusing on lengthening the spine. Let's go ahead and slowly walk the feet forward. Keep your knees bent. Take a few breaths just hanging in your ragdoll. Remember to let the neck be totally relaxed. So the weight of your head helps lengthen your spine here. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead, stretch. And exhale, bring your palms together. Bring your feet all the way together so at least your big toes are touching. And then inhale, reach the arms up and stretch. And exhale, fold forward. Look up halfway, lengthen. And then back down. You're going to step back with your left foot. Hold your lunge for a moment. If you can, just plant that left hand and take your right hand up towards the ceiling. You want to try and keep the spine lengthened here. Let this be a little bit of a spinal twist. Take one more breath. We'll bring the right hand down and drop the left knee down. Go ahead and bring both hands to the top of your right thigh. Tilt your pelvis back, lift your chest, let the hips move forward until you feel this on the front of that left hip. And then if it feels okay, arms are out like a T, twisting to your right. We keep the chest lifted and the spine straight. And then we take both hands on either side of the right foot, extend the right leg, flex the ankle and toes. And then after you kind of had a moment to adjust to your right hamstring and maybe calf stretch, lengthen your spine a little bit. Kind of try and lift your chest and pull it forward. So instead of hunching and rounding over that leg, lengthen over it. And from here, go ahead and take your right knee to meet your left knee. Those of you doing vinyasas, this is your cue. You get to take off from here on out. The rest of us are moving into child's pose. Take a breath. If you're not already in extended child's pose, Separate the knees and extend your arms out and keep your buns back by your heels. So that you get a double child's pose. It's November, so let's make it a double. Let's go ahead and scoot forward into Sphinx. You're also welcome to do Cobra at this point if you prefer that. Lengthen the spine, shoulders down the back, and then downward facing dog. Really lengthen as much as you can. And then step your left foot forward, up between your hands. If you can, keep your right hand planted. Rotate the spine, taking left hand towards the ceiling. Bring your left hand down, drop your right knee, and let's bring both hands to the top of the left thigh. Tilt the pelvis back, let the hips move forward. Once you find that stretch on the front of the right hip, if it's okay with your body, your arms are opening out like a T, so you're rotating to the left. And then hands on either side of your left foot, extend your left leg, flex the ankle and toes. And after you've had a moment to kind of fine tune your hamstring stretch on the left, try and get your chest to lift and slightly pull forward. So think about lengthening your spine while you're lengthening your left hamstring and maybe the left calf. Bend your left knee, step forward to a standing forward bend. And as you do, go ahead and bring your feet all the way together. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward. Now, if you truly have your feet touching, you're set up perfectly for our next little pose. You're gonna bend your knees a moderate amount, squeeze them together because you want your knees to continue pointing forward. And then just walk your hands or fingertips around in a tight little circle towards your right heel. What you should feel is the left side of the low back stretches. Take a couple of breaths, make sure your knees are still pointing forward. And then we're going to walk our hands around in a tight little circle towards the left heel. Knees are still bent, pointing forward. Now you should feel it in the right side of your low back. Come back to the center, straighten your legs, look up and lengthen, and then back down. So this time we're going to step back with the right leg. So you have a left foot forward lunge, lengthen your spine a moment. And then drop the right knee down. This time we're going to come up with the arms up and overhead. Tilt the pelvis, let the hips move forward. If it feels okay, palms are going to come together. And we're going to hook that right elbow outside the left knee or thigh. Press into the palms and look up over the left shoulder. Bring both hands down inside your left foot. Come on to your right forearm, maybe your left. Those of you feeling extra energetic today, you're welcome to turn the right toes under and lift the right knee up, but you don't have to. We're going to keep the right forearm down and take the left hand to the ceiling again. Bring your left hand back down, come back up onto the right hand, take your left knee back, and we get to do a double child's pose. So if you're able, you start in traditional balasana and you take a breath. Then you separate the knees and do extended child's pose. We keep the balasana and take a breath. And then you scoot forward into either Sphinx or Cobra. Those of you doing vinyasas might be doing upward facing dog. It's all good. It's whatever your body really wants today. Or any day, actually. And then downward facing dog. Press those hips back. Make sure you're not compressing in the neck. We're squeezing shoulder blades together. You just want a lot of space everywhere. And then take a big step forward with your right foot. We're going to go ahead and drop the left knee down. Bring the arms up and overhead this time. Tilt the pelvis, let the hips move forward. And then if it's okay with your back, you're going to bring your palms together and prayer twist to your right. Twisting to look up over your right shoulder. Palms are together. That left elbow is hooked outside the right near thigh. This is really good for your digestion, you guys. Bring your hands back down inside your left foot. If you can, come onto your left forearm. Maybe both come down, maybe not. You can always use a block, by the way. Purely optional is turning left toes under and lifting left knee off the ground, or you can keep it down. But we're going to keep the left forearm down and take the right hand towards the ceiling. And then both hands back to the mat, step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together. So we're going to do a rather vigorous twist now. Kind of like breath of fire is the breath pattern. Don't hyperventilate or anything. Just do your best with this. But if you can do that kind of like Kapalabhati, that pumping breath, that's a great thing to do here. You're going to bring fingertips to the shoulders. Feet are together again. Slight bend in the knees. And the idea is that we're going to twist in time to our breath. But it's not going to be a slow one today. It's that forceful pumping breath. So you're going to be moving pretty quickly. Be very conscious of your knees. Don't let them splay side to side. Knees stay squeezed together and pointing forward so your rotation comes from your waist. All right, you can start either direction. It doesn't matter, but I want you to breathe in. Breathe half your air out, and off you go. Inhale the arms up, and as you exhale, float them down and roll your shoulders back. That's actually a Kundalini yoga move. And I'm going to have you do one more Kundalini yoga move. You're going to take your feet wide, sideways on the mat. And if you have tight hamstrings or if you have low back issues, I want you to aim for your knees. And if you are more flexible and have a healthy back, you will be aiming for your feet. It's that same breath. Arms are out to the side. And what we're going to do is, and I'll just show you nice and slow, it'll be an exhale, hand to the knee, and inhale back up. Exhale, opposite hand to knee, and inhale back up, keeping back flat. Now, those of you that are more flexible, you'll exhale, hand to foot, inhale back up. Exhale, hand to foot, inhale back up. All right, and yes, it is actually yoga. It's just Kundalini yoga. So if you can do that forceful breath, do that. Otherwise, just do it in slow time to your breathing. So your center point here is your inhale, and off you go. Breathing in, breathing out halfway, and beginning. Two more on each side. Arms up, and as you exhale, float them down. Roll your shoulders back. Take a moment. Notice how you feel. Both of those patterns are really stimulating for your digestive organs. So if you overindulged yesterday or last night, I got you. Let's keep the feet wide. Rotate the left foot in and the right foot out. Bend your right knee. Come into warrior two. So your arms are out to the side. You have that nice soft gaze over your right middle finger. You're going to take your right forearm onto your right thigh. Take your left arm up and over your head. Come all the way back up, reverse your warrior with your left hand on your left thigh, right arm up and over. Getting the sides of the waist ready to do a little bit deeper twist. Come back up into your warrior two. Straighten your right leg for a moment. Take a breath. Now, it depends upon your hip mobility. If you can, I'm going to ask you to keep your left heel flat. But if you cannot, and you come up onto the toes of the left foot, that's okay. Take care of your ankle. So here we go. Bend your right knee. You're back in warrior two. If you are able, palms together, big rotation for prayer twist, looking over right shoulder. Remember, if you need to swivel onto your toes, go ahead. If you can keep the heel flat, it's fantastic. Come all the way back up, straighten your right leg. Hips are going to kick to the left, lengthen to the right, and find your triangle pose. So you want the right side of the spine to feel as though it's just as long as the left side. Ideally, both legs are straight. And we're going to come all the way back up and rotate the right foot in and the left foot out and find warrior two. Bend your left knee. Make sure that your knee is aligned properly so you're not letting it be lazy and drop in towards the big toe. We're going to bring left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Stretching out right side of the waist. We're going to come back up. Keep the left knee bent. Put the right hand on the right thigh. Left arm up and over. Reverse warrior. Stretching left side of the waist. Come back up. Straighten your left leg for a moment. Same thing applies here, and don't assume that the right side is going to feel like the left side and vice versa. If you can, bend your left knee and possibly keep right heel flat. Palms together, prayer twist to the left. If you need to swivel onto the right toes, you do what you need to do to make this work for your body. And we come all the way back out. Straighten the left leg. Kick the hips to the right, lengthen to the left. And find your triangle pose. Come all the way back up. Rotate your feet so they're both pointing directly forward. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Just hinge at your hips for a moment. Relax your neck. Reach the arms up. And then release your hands down to the mat or onto blocks. And bring your hands out in front of you so that they're directly under your shoulders if your back is flat. And be careful not to walk your buns forward. You want to really kind of stay aligned. And we're just going to do another twist here. I want you to slide your left hand dead center. Keep your spine long and straight. And rotate your right hand towards the ceiling. Bring your right hand down and put where your left hand was. Keep your spine lengthened. Rotate your left hand towards the ceiling. Bring your left hand back down. Walk your hands back onto the mat. Start toe heeling the feet together. Big inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Back up to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. We're gonna step back on the hands and knees. Just want you to wag your tail for a moment. And then we're gonna go into that deeper version of threading the needle that allows you to make it a full-on twist. It's a little different than when we're doing it just for the shoulder blade. And I'll have you start with your left leg out to the left. You want your leg totally straight. You want the whole sole of your foot flat. You want it out to the side, maybe even up towards your armpits, not way back behind you. Left hand goes right back where you had it. So you're on all fours, except your left leg's kicked out like a kickstand. That's what we want. Right arm reaches up for a moment, and then on your exhale, you scoop your right arm underneath, just like you always do for threading the needle. It doesn't matter if you grab your left leg or foot or not. It will still be a good kickstand. If you feel comfortable and your neck is okay, you're going to take your left hand to the ceiling and maybe even roll open a little. This is where the deep twist occurs. And if you don't have your left leg out like a kickstand, I promise you, you'll roll. So make sure you feel nice and stable. Get a good deep twist. Make sure your neck is comfortable. One more breath here. Come all the way back out, hands and knees. It's always a good idea to wag your tail. And then let's take the right leg out to the right. Your leg should be totally straight, foot flat. Left arm, inhale it towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach it underneath. Totally optional to grab the foot or the leg. That doesn't really matter. Right arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. And then maybe you can roll open into a nice deep twist. Obviously, you're going to pay very close attention to your neck and shoulders. Make sure they're comfortable, but you should be able to get deep enough to feel some compression in your midsection, and that's what we want. Come on out of that. Hands, knees, tail wag if you want it. Double child's pose. Here we go. Traditional balasana with a rounded back if you can. Separate the knees, extended child's pose with your arms out, forehead flat, and you'll feel your spine lengthening here. Scoot forward into either Sphinx or Cobra. Lengthen. And then downward facing dog. From here, you can walk your feet forward. Big inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. All right, we're gonna do a twisting balance. Oh, goody. 2 levels, it just depends upon your comfort as well as your flexibility. So level 1, the easier version, I'll just show you really quickly and then we'll all do it together. You would grab behind your knee with your knee bent, opposite hand to leg, arm out to the side, and you simply rotate the hip. Okay, so that would be phase 1. Phase 2 would be opposite hand to calf or foot, extending the leg and rotating it with the opposite arm out. So what you get is a twist at the waist. If you have like tighter hamstrings, you can even grab your pants and just kind of do that as long as you're getting the rotation. So we're going to stand on the left foot first. You're going to grab either your right thigh or calf or foot with your left hand. Your right arm is going to be out to the right. So whatever you grab, as much as you can, you want to extend the leg unless you're going to do the bent knee version. And then you're just going to start rotating torso and leg to the left, right arm opening out to the right. Take a couple of breaths. And release. All right, we're gonna do the other side. Same thing. You can either grab your pants, grab behind the thigh, keep the knee bent, or if you want, you're gonna grab the calf or the foot with the right hand. So whatever you're grabbing, grab it with your right hand. Let your left arm open out to the left. You're either keeping the knee bent, or if you can, you're fully extending the leg, taking the leg to the right, opening left arm out to the left. And release. Awesome job. While you're standing, turn sideways, take a moderately wide step. Toes rotate out, knees bend, hands are on thighs with your elbows completely straight. We're gonna just press against the inside of the left thigh as we twist. Look over the right shoulder, but now we're tractioning out the left side of the spine. Good. Twist the opposite direction now. Looking over left shoulder, you're pressing against the inside of the right thigh. So you are twisting and you're lengthening the spine. Come back to the center. Bring your legs together. Arms out to the side. Slight bend in the knees. Very slow rotations now of the torso. Inhaling to your left. Knees point forward. Exhaling to your right. Don't torque at the knees. You're only going from the waist. Inhaling to the left. Exhaling to the right. One more time. Back to the center. Back to the front of your mat, feet together, palms together. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Step back onto your hands and knees. We're coming back into cat-cow stretches. So I want you to just notice if there's any difference in spinal mobility. So just a couple of arches and rounds. And then those of you doing vinyasas, take your last one. Those of you with me, we'll do our last double child's pose. So rounded back child's pose first, traditional. Then we go into the more modern extended child's pose. Then we go into a nice, yummy spine lengthening Sphinx. And finally, downward facing dog. Push the tailbone up and back, stretch. Walk your feet forward. Have a seat with your legs extended and just take a moment to check in Dandasana. So you're finding your sit bones, lengthening the spine, lifting the chest, letting your head balance on top of your spine, very active legs, and you're just checking in. How's your body? Your breath, your mind, your heart, your energy, and how's your spine? How's your midsection? Let's go ahead and bring left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Lean out over your right leg for a moment. So wherever your left hand is, I want you to keep it there. Kind of raise up and bring your leg with you. Put your right hand behind you. Lift your chest. If you can, keep your right leg straight. And look over your right shoulder. It's a variation on heron. It's a twisting heron. So Parivrita Kramchasana. Take one more breath here. If you feel like you can, go ahead and let your right hand join your left hand. Lift your chest. Maybe pull your leg towards you for a moment. And then we're gonna take this right foot and put it down outside the left near thigh. Now we're getting into some deep twisting. You want your right foot flat. Chest is lifted, spine is straight, right hand is behind you. So you can either hug your right knee as you twist, or left arm is outside the right knee or thigh as you look over your right shoulder. What you should feel in this position is a lot of compression in your abdomen. That's what we're shooting for. We want that. You want to feel squeezed in your midsection. As you unwind from this, go ahead and bring your right foot to meet your left foot. Today I'm going to let you grab your toes, lift your chest, and kind of pull it forward as you press the knees out and down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then you can just extend your left leg. Right foot snags into the inside of that left thigh. Lean out over your left leg. Wherever your right hand is, you're going to keep it there. Go ahead and raise up. Bring your left leg with you if you can. Your left hand is going to be behind you. So this twisting here and variation. As much as possible, your left leg is straight and you're looking over your left shoulder. If you can, your left hand will grab and reach with your right hand. Lift your chest. Maybe pull the leg a little closer. And then when we put this left foot down, we're going to put it down outside the right knee or thigh. Left foot is flat. Left hand is going to be behind you. So you're hugging the left knee, or perhaps bringing right elbow outside of it for a nice deep squeezing twist. Look over the left shoulder. See if you can find that sensation of compression in your midsection. And then we're going to go ahead and unwind, bringing soles of the feet together again. This time, sliding them out in front of us, clasping the ankles and lengthening the chest forward, like you're kind of trying to nestle your ribcage between your thighs. And you should feel this in the low back, but you should feel it in a very pleasant way. Slowly come on up, bring your knees together, position yourself correctly on your mat so that you can roll down, hug your knees in, and rock side to side. So first we're going to do a nice little spine lengthening bridge. So it does not matter how high you lift on this, as long as you get your hips into the air. So if you do have back issues, this is a really nice way to lengthen and not overarch the back. Those of you that are very flexible, you can lift up as high as you like. Here's the deal though, we really do have to have big toes touching and heels separated because we don't want the glutes to grip today. What I would like for you to do is use your little mitten hands and bring your thumbs right behind the back of the hip bone and your 4 little mitten fingers in the front. So if you feel with your fingers, you should feel your hip bones in the front, and your hands are at the top of your pelvis. Technically, that's your iliac crest, but you're grabbing the sides of the top of the pelvis with your hands, okay? Big toes are touching, heels are separated. Lift your hips, a little or a lot, doesn't matter. And then I want you to lift your rib cage up. So it's like your chest is moving towards your chin. And the next time you breathe out, you're going to push with all your might against the top of your pelvis, like you're trying to push towards your knees and lift your rib cage towards your chin. You're creating space in the middle of your body. Take one more breath here. And then lower back down. Pause for a minute because we're going to do it a second time. So most people don't really think about the fact that from the bottom of your rib cage to the top of your pelvis, the only bone in your body right there is your spine. And that's where the biggest opportunity for length occurs. And so that's all we're doing. All right, big toes touch, heels separate. Grab the top of your pelvis with your hands on either side. Lift your hips, lift your rib cage. Breathe in, and then as you exhale, push. Hips towards knees, breathe. And lower down. Nice job, you guys. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. So we're going to transition from gentle recline twists to deeper ones. I'm giving you that warning so that if you know your back doesn't want to go any deeper, you'll stay at whatever phase feels best to you. Phase one, both knees bent and together. We're going to drop them to the right. Left arm opens out to the left. Head turns to the left. We're here for about 3 breaths, unless you're choosing to stay here, which is absolutely a-okay. Now, if you can, you've got both knees dropped over to the right. If you plan to go to phase two, your right hand, you just kind of want to lightly hang on behind your left knee or thigh. And what you'll do is your right leg, your bottom leg, you're going to extend it straight down your mat. So now you're in a deeper twist. Your right leg is back in alignment with your body. It's straight. It's going down the mat. Your left leg is across with the knee bent, and you're looking over that left shoulder. Only if you're feeling like you want to. Phase three, your left leg extends. So basically, you're trying to get 90 degrees with your legs and have them both straight. If you want, your right hand can reach down and grab that left foot or calf, and it might look like what you were doing when you were standing on one leg, maybe. The final phase, phase four, if you choose to, is to bend your right knee again. That's your bottom knee, but let your left foot go behind or underneath your right calf. So both knees are bent. Your left thigh is over the right one. Left arm is still opened out to the left. Remember, if any of these deeper versions don't work for you, you stay at the level that feels good to you today. One more breath. And then we come back up, unwind the legs if they were wound. Hug both knees in and just rock side to side. Then we keep our knees together. We keep them bent. And we just drop them over to the left. Right arm opens out to the right. The head turns to the right. We hang out for about 3 breaths. If you're going to go into the deeper version, your left hand, you'll just kind of hang on to the back of the right knee or thigh. Keep that right knee bent. Extend your left leg back down the length of the mat. So now your left leg is straight, your right knee is bent. It's a deeper twist. We're here for 3 breaths. So if you want to, your right leg extends, still in the same direction that it was going. Maybe you grab your right foot with your left hand. Maybe it looks like that standing balance that we did. And if you want to go into the deepest version now, you bend your left knee, your bottom knee. You let your right foot and calf slide underneath. So now you've got your right thigh crossed over your left thigh. Right arm is still opened out. So this is the deepest twist. If it works for you, great. If not, you go back to wherever you are happiest. And then on your next inhale, unwind your legs if they were wound. Roll back onto your back, hug your knees in. Rock side to side. And then if it feels okay with your back, do a couple of back and forth rocks. So just kind of rocking the length of your spine, but that's only if it feels good. And then place your feet flat on the mat. You're gonna let the knees drop open now, soles of the feet together, so the knees are bent. Your arms are out to the side. You're gonna pause for a moment and just relax here. Get a very nice passive inner thigh stretch. And then we're gonna do our final spinal lengthener. So on your next inhale, flatten the back. Hold it while you keep breathing. So you're basically tilting your pelvis back, mashing your low back into the mat so there's no curve at all. And then the next time you breathe out, you're going to completely relax and you'll notice you'll have a natural arch in your back again. One more time, inhale, flatten it out. So tilt the pelvis, press your low back into the mat. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then exhale and release and slowly extend your legs, separate the feet. You can kind of roll the legs in and out a couple of times if you need to. Make sure your spine feels really lengthened. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, that your jaw is relaxed, that your eyes are softly closed. Your hands are relaxed, everything feels good, and then just take an extra deep breath in. And exhale with a sigh. Allow your body to just do what it does so well in this pose. Every pose that we practice gets better with practice, and Shavasana is no exception. Every time that you come to this position, you become more adept at it. Notice your breathing softening. Just feel everything relaxing. Then I'd like you to really feel your pelvis, so the back of the hips. Feel how connected that is to the ground. Your pelvis is your center of gravity, and today we're going to imagine that it is also our anchor. So I want you to feel that your pelvis is very heavy and literally anchoring you to the mat, to the earth. Imagine now that you feel your legs ever so slightly beginning to float upwards. Kind of like helium-filled balloons. They begin to drift up. They feel very weightless, but your pelvis is anchoring you to the floor, so just the legs are drifting up and just floating. Imagine now that you feel the same thing happening in the hands and the arms. They too begin to drift up. the neck and the head begin to rise. And because the arms are already up, they help lift the chest and the rib cage up. So your pelvis is anchoring you to the ground, and the rest of you is floating. Literally floating, just drifting upward in the air, absolutely weightless. Notice how it feels to have no weight in the legs or the head or the arms or the torso. Imagine even that the brain is floating inside your head. And now imagine that your floating legs are extending and actually becoming longer. Your arms are extending and actually becoming longer. Your entire spine, which includes your neck, of course, is extending and becoming longer. And now imagine that you can feel your legs slowly, slowly, gently start to descend back down towards the mat until they gently rest on the mat. You feel your arms and hands, your neck, your head, and your newly lengthened torso all gently drifting back down towards your mat. Feel the lengthened spine and the corresponding lengthened legs and arms. And just take note of all the space that you've created. And then just start paying attention to your breathing. Begin to deepen your breath slightly. Begin to move your fingers and toes. As you're ready, take a deeper breath in and just spread your fingers and toes. Exhale with a sigh as you relax them. Deeper breath in, stretching, stretching, stretching to your new fullest lengthened exhaling again with a sigh to relax. Hug your knees into your chest. Or if you prefer, just bend the knees and let your feet rest flat on the floor. And when you're ready, roll to your right side. And then press yourself up into sitting. So as you come to your nice straight spine, and you can sit however you like, I want you to just kind of come back into that idea that everything lengthened while you were in Shavasana. So feel your tailbone and feel that new length in your spine as you align yourself and relax your shoulders, head balancing on top of that newly lengthened spine. We're going to be doing a lunar breath today. We're moving towards a full moon, I believe. I'm sorry, a new moon on Thursday, I believe. So we're going to be doing a little bit of lunar breathing. And if it feels okay for you today, I'd like you to touch the tip of your ring finger to the tip of your thumb on your left hand. So your left hand, tip of the ring finger to the tip of the thumb, and let that hand rest palm up on your left knee or thigh. You're going to make a thumbs up sign with your right hand so that you can use your right thumb to block your right nostril. We're going to be breathing in and out through the left side only. And if you are able and agreeable, I would love for you to make your left nostril breath a 1-to-2 ratio. That means that whatever you inhale, your exhale is twice as long. So let's take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale completely through both nostrils. And then block your right side and do your own count of 1-to-2 ratio breathing, Chandra Benana, lunar breath. As you finish the breath you're on, let your right hand rest down. Just pause for a moment, eyes still closed. Breathing, just doing what it does naturally. And just take a moment to check in. How does your body feel, particularly your digestive organs and your spine? But really the whole body. How does the body feel? And how does that compare to how your body felt when we checked in at the beginning of class? How's your breathing? What are your thought processes like? What emotions, if any, are you feeling? And how's your energy? And slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment in gratitude. We all have so many things to be grateful for. Take a moment in gratitude today for your practice, for your ability to practice. This is not something that we should take for granted at multiple levels. So gratitude for your body, gratitude for your mind and your breath, gratitude for this ancient tradition, gratitude for the safety and security of being able to practice. And then take one more huge inhale through your nose. Big, happy sigh. Palms to the forehead, reminding us to be present, to pay attention so that we can see all the things we have to be grateful for. Palms to the lips, reminding us to speak our truth. Palms to the heart, reminding us to keep our hearts open, to always, always practice kindness, compassion, and love, and to make sure to include ourselves in that. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really appreciate you. Namaste.